So fun fact about Torri, she actually lies to her estheticians and facialists because she gets facials so often. There was one point where she probably got, 3 or 4 facials in a week with like active peels and ingredients. And they asked her when they go in, so Torri, when's the last time you've had an active? Like you probably shouldn't have had one between the same month. And Torri goes, oh no, I haven't had one in a few weeks. Meanwhile, she had one the day before.
True. That actually is true.
I remember I was in, because we went in for a facial together for one of them, and they were saying the same thing to me. I was like, oh God, like I wonder what Tor's going to say, because I was in the same situation.
Yeah.
But you had had like 3 or 4, like something was crazy about that.
I know,
week
there was
facials.
too many facials. And they were always like, so when was your last one? When was the last extraction? And I can't be like, yesterday.
Well, then you don't want them to kind of cheap out on your experience and not give the full thing. But then also you don't want to like wear out your skin, but
here we are.
Here we are.
Still glowing.
Let's roll the intro. Well, welcome back to Poddy Talk,
the podcast where we shit talk ourselves.
I'm Jac.
And I'm Tor.
And this is a very exciting episode because this is the Christmas episode. Actually, it's Christmas today when they're listening, is it not?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all the things. This is also the last episode before we go on a little mini hiatus.
It is.
Finally,
the hiatus I've been looking for the last year and a half.
We've been filming them like every week straight for the last 32 weeks, and we're going to take a 2-week break.
Can't wait.
I'm excited. What are you doing over the holiday break? Are you actually taking a break? Are you working? Are you traveling? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't take like designated holiday, but I just go with the flow. Like,
oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, like I'll still like answer emails and make sure like everything's fine. Cause like some agencies will go back after Christmas. I don't know, I'm just like available. I'm available, but I'm not like actively working.
Oh, I am fully putting on an out of office on my email.
I've never once in my entire life put an out of office on.
I'm putting it on. I need a break for sure. I'm at the point right now where I have a little bit of an eye twitch.
Are you tweaking out?
A little bit. I just like things are good. I'm not like stressed, but I just know there's a lot still to get done. But like in a week, it should all be done. So I know it'll all be worth it. I see the finish line, which is why I'm like not
tweaking out,
having a breakdown.
Right.
But like if I didn't have a break, I would have a breakdown.
Yeah, fair.
But I think that's everyone at Christmas time. Everyone's just, I feel like,
ready.
ready.
I also feel like there's so many days in between. Like, again, we always talk about, like, getting bored. Like, for sure, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, like, I'm obviously just going to, like, be with family. We're going to Mexico. But I just, like, I'll still, like, have my email on. I don't know. That stuff doesn't really stress me out. So I'm fine to, like, be, like, I'm not someone that has to, like, be on vacation and be like, no one can talk to me. No one can contact me. I'm like, oh, I don't mind. Like,
oh, that's me. No one contact me.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, it's January. People are going to be back in the office. Like, I don't get back until, like, the 7th or something.
Oh, okay.
So there's, like, a solid amount of time there where people will be back in the office. And
no, I'm taking whatever the first week in January until that Monday hits, I'm taking off. So I think that is, like, the 5th or the 6th. But
good for you.
Thank you so much. I remember 3 years ago I did Vlogmas, so like posting, and I don't have an editor. I fully edit all my own stuff. So that was filming a video every single day, editing the video every single day, and posting it every single day.
Yeah.
Which like
that kind of sounds awful.
Oh, and then up until Christmas, like, and the thing is, what's so hard to say no to is that, well, one, AdSense, the CPM is higher than ever. So like,
it's just a good time to be creating content.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna make the same content any time of year, you might as well post it in December because the CPM's like 4 times higher.
Right.
But
I want to explain for our listeners what CPM is. They may not understand.
It cost per milla, basically the amount of money that you make per 1,000 views. It's kind of like the base of
how people
YouTube
make money on YouTube. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the revenue is a lot higher. But then two, like views typically, depending on your audience, but my demographic typically has more time to watch YouTube over December.
In the
people
holidays,
are off school, people are whatever. They have more available free
time. Is that
time.
true with summer as well?
Yes, I feel like it's so interesting now because when I was 16, 17 starting out on YouTube, I would say summers were actually my peak time and like I would get the most views, most traffic, most engagement during summers. But now my audience has grown up with me and everyone's more in college. So I find like people have people's schedules throughout the week, whether they have only a few classes a week or they're not in school from 9 to 3 kind of thing. So it's always fluctuating, but Christmas in particular now I feel like does definitely hit different.
Do well, yeah.
But the thing is, I remember being so like waking up, making a video just to make a video, not caring about it, but just to like make the video.
Right.
And it's like one that's not creatively fulfilling or fun. It's just like exhausting. You're just like throwing your like dead body at something.
Yeah.
And then by the time January and February hit, I was so like burnt out. And also at this time, I had like a quarter of the subscribe. Like it wasn't even like no one was telling me to do it. I just felt like I needed to do it. And that's when I experienced my first round of burnout, and I was so unmotivated. I was like, I am never doing that again.
Yeah.
So, but I think if I ever was to do it again, I would hire an editor. That's actually maybe a goal going into 2020 that I want to like actually explore.
Yeah.
But then it's an interesting like I don't want to say write off, but then it's like, oh, am I losing part of the creativity because I would say 80% of how the video comes to life is through the edit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like something.
It's also like a sense of taste. Like the way you edit specifically as Jaclyn is different than how anyone else will edit. And so there's like a sense of like, you know, your stamp is on it.
Totally. And I also just like, I'm not looking forward to the learning period, whereas say I hire an editor, there's actually a few people I have my eye on that like I kind of know of that I want to reach out to. And I like trust their style. I love how they bring things to life, but it's also more just like the personal things that would have to be teachable. Like, oh, I would totally cut that out. I feel like I stuttered my word there, or I hate the way my face looks in that shot.
Like how do you know?
How would I communicate that? Like that's just second nature because it's me and that's just how I feel about it. But that's not necessarily something that's teachable. I mean, I guess over time they'll be like, hey, Jaclyn hates those types of shots. She look bad in that or whatever.
I could see how that could be like not a waste of time, but an added amount of time because then you get the edit back and then you're like, okay, well, let's go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, but then you have to go through that transition period.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, we'll see.
And once they know your style, then hopefully it's all goody two-shoes. But
yeah, so maybe that's more of a business goal in 2020. But do you have any New Year's resolutions or 2020 goals, whether it be personal or career?
I think I would like to maintain. It's not even like a new goal, but just like maintain the newfound like enjoyment I've had with working out this year. But just maintain that, like not fall out of the rhythm of it all.
You in particular, I feel like the last week you've been like doing triple workouts.
I think I'm just like a creature of habit, and if I like really get it into my schedule, then I'll miss not having it in my schedule. So it's just good to create that standard. Work out, move the body once a day, you know?
Speaking of working out, we did the Santa 5K.
This we did.
A few weeks ago now. And it was absolutely hilarious. If you don't follow us on our Instagrams, Torri Webster and Jac and Forbes, you would have not seen that amazing outfits. But do you want to walk everyone through what this experience was?
Yeah, it was kind of shocking. I also thought that next year we need a much bigger group of people. I want everyone there to do this because it's so fun.
Fun about the community of everyone there because it's just hilarious.
But essentially in Burlington, Ontario, which is like 45 minutes from the city, they were hosting this Santa Claus 5K wherein you sign up to run 5K in a Santa suit in like full beard, full jacket, full pants, hat, the whole 9 yards.
And you will get disqualified if you're not wearing any of the outfit, beard included.
And so we went up, we ran it with Jaclyn's cousins, my sister, like kind of got a whole group together and did it. And it was super fun. It was actually great. I loved it.
I feel like after the half marathon, 5K felt like nothing. And it was also everything I've ever dreamed of finishing a race. Because, I mean, if you've been following along for a while, after the half marathon, Torri had a bit of a tumble but ran the best time of her life. I had a horrible run. I was super sick and just so dehydrated. I had to steal a stranger's orange juice, which was a very, demoralizing moment of my life. And this race, the 5K, I was feeling like $1 million. Actually, so my little cousin Pookie and my aunt Lee, who is like the iconic runner who's been my inspiration throughout my whole running career, and they're really good runners, obviously. So they, off the beginning, we're all kind of like, this isn't a competitive race. Let's just have fun. Let's all run it together, whatever. And of course, as soon as like the start line goes, my aunt and little Pookie are off.
They took off
immediately. Didn't even try to stay with us.
Rude. Yeah.
Competitive. This is where I get it from. And then we all stayed together, I'd say, for at least like 2K. And then I hear, and actually Brooklyn left with them too, my other cousin.
Yeah, the three of them were gone.
Yeah, the three of them just left. So it was like our squad and then my uncle. And then I hear my Apple Watch, like I can feel it vibrating. I see incoming call from Brooklyn. I'm like, how is she calling me? She's supposed to be like a K ahead of me.
Right.
She's like, I needed to take a break. They took off without me. Where are you? I'm like, drop back. You'll find us. You'll find us.
Yeah. She wasn't far from us when she called us.
No, she really wasn't. And well, you were the one that saw her. Didn't you see her?
Yeah, she was just standing on the side of the road. I'm like,
well, she wasn't even walking. She was static, stopped. I was like, what? So she dropped back, and then eventually, I think my uncle and her stopped, and then I kind of got separated from you. And then my aunt. So everyone looks exactly the same. That's the one thing during the Santa 5K. You kind of lose everyone quickly because everyone is
looks identical.
Exactly. And then they have these giant suits on. Like, it's kind of impossible to tell anyone apart unless you're right beside them. And my aunt had like a running belt on that was like neon yellow with like water and like a little pack on. And coming like up to the final like K and a half, it was so funny. I don't even know if I told you this. this random woman was kind of running beside me, and I was just kind of talking to myself. Like, I heard my Apple Watch hit 3K or 4K or whatever. So I was like, yeah, 1K to go. Like, I said that out loud.
Yeah.
And then the woman beside me was like, oh, what was that, 4K? And I was like, yeah. Like, we've got one more K to go. Like, we got this. Like, started chatting with her, whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, good. Like, I don't have a watch on. Like, you're helping pace me, blah, blah, blah. So we had, like, a little moment. It was cute. So we were running together for, like, another 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And then literally come, like, to say the final 800 meters. And she was really good. Like, I was kind of gradually picking up, and she was totally sticking with me, and, like, totally, it was great. But then the final 800 meters, I see out of, like, the corner of my eye, like, maybe 20 Santas ahead of me, the yellow pack. So I'm like, oh my God, there's my aunt.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill her if I catch up to her and beat her.
Yeah.
So I say to my new little running buddy, he's like, I'm so sorry, I see my aunt up ahead, I gotta go beat her. So I start running a bit faster, and then I see little Pookie beside my aunt too, and I'm literally like the person behind them, but I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, because my plan was like the final
like
200
save your
meters,
energy.
overtake,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
crush
yeah.
it, right? And so I can see at this point my aunt is like a little tired, and I hear her say to Pookie, or maybe at like the 300 mark now, 300 meters, and she goes to Pookie, okay, Pookie, you go off, like you go finish strong kind of thing. So I could tell she was already at a low, so I go, this is my time to go in and really get her. So I just quietly run in front of her. I don't say anything. I look behind and I smile at her. She goes, Jaclyn! And then Pookie turns around because she hears my name, and then Pookie starts getting a little nervous because the whole running joke growing up too, like whenever we would do track and field, if I would hold any of the running records, Pookie would try to go in and beat them. And she's beat a few, I will admit. She has crushed a few of my records, but there's a few that still stand. So the running joke, I'm like, Pookie, you're never going to beat my records, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So Pookie sees me, so she gets going. So then I start like giving it like as fast as I can. I rip off like the beard. I at this point swing it to the back, and poor Pookie. I can't see her, but I know she's right behind me. And I thought we're maybe about 50 meters to the finish line. And I go, okay, I've definitely got some distance on her. Like, I'm good, I've got this. And then out of nowhere, she pops back up beside me, and I hear her go, ah! Like, I hear her making noise. So then we were, like, both giving it. And I swear to God, we finished at, like, I like to think I was a step ahead, but she likes to say we tied. But it was, like, an amazing feeling. And then I finished, and I was on it, like, high. I don't know if it was just the competitiveness of the end or just, like, a great run, great weather. I felt like $1 million after it.
Yeah, that's the best.
And that's how I wanted to feel after the half marathon, but I felt like crap.
I know. I think 5K though naturally is so different than 21. It's like your body will never feel the same after 21 than it does after 5.
Do you know oh my God, I meant to tell you, the shoes that we put on this morning, are they painful for you?
No.
Okay, so I think it's because my big toe is still bruised from the half marathon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm waiting for the nail to fall off. It like isn't bruised enough, but like it's so gross. My feet are still disgusting.
That's crazy. Well, Pookie must be very fast because she's a lot smaller than you. So the fact that she had that much speed on you is kind of shocking.
No, she's quick.
Wow.
She reminds me of myself in my youth.
Wow.
She really does.
Brilliant.
Shouts out to Pooks. I don't even know if she listens to this. Brooklyn does. So Brooklyn, shouts out to you.
Yeah.
Actually,
we're only giving love to
She
Brooklyn.
was the vlogger, actually. I don't know if you got all the videos.
She was vlogging.
She
That's so funny.
But even her finish line, like she she filmed a video of her finishing it. But it was a great day. I had the best time.
It was really fun.
Burlington is also just so cute. I don't think I visit there enough.
It's cute. I enjoy visiting small towns for a day.
Visit Caledonia one day.
Yeah.
We should vlog.
Yeah.
You visiting Caledonia for
No,
the day.
I would like love to visit. I love visiting small towns, and then I love escaping.
I love leaving.
Yeah.
No, I definitely like love going back, and well, especially over Christmas. I'm going to be, probably the day you're listening to this, I'll be back in my hometown. A lot of my family still lives there. And it's so weird and nostalgic. I feel like I almost go back in time. Like I go there and it feels like I'm entering another world. Like I'm back in elementary school or high school. Like it feels like, not that hasn't changed, but it's almost like not stuck in time. That sounds like negative, but I mean, I get transported back to.
Well, stuck in time for you.
Yeah.
Because like you haven't been there since that time, so it makes sense.
Do you find that going back like uptown or like back to your parents' house, or does it feel like it's grown up with you?
Yeah, no, I don't really get that feeling, but I'm there so much. Right. It's like hard to miss it because I'm there all the time. Like I'm there every week, so like it doesn't feel like I've missed anything.
Totally.
Like sometimes if I'm in my like bedroom, I'll feel that way because I'm like, whoa, like we've come a long way, baby.
Right.
But like other than that, not really. Like the common areas don't really trigger me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's so funny. So I grew up next door, like living next door to Pookie and my aunt and all of them. And so whenever I go visit them, they still live in the house that used to be beside my old house, like my house that I spent a lot of my years in. And whenever we go back, it still feels wrong, like when we pull up into their driveway instead of our old driveway. And I'm like, hey, a new family fully lives in there, but like...
Do you know who lives there?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Well, like the girls, like they're friendly, they're neighbors, right?
Oh,
they're
that's
friendly
nice.
with the people that live there. Actually, I think maybe they moved out. There might be a new family in there now. But I remember the weirdest thing actually was when I moved out of that house, and I'm not really someone, like I've always been fine with moving. Like, I don't really get too attached to places. Like, there is, I guess, like a weird sense of nostalgia, but like, I'm happy for the change. Like, I like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna move to a new house, we're gonna move into the city, whatever. But the weirdest thing was, like, my bathroom growing up, like up all throughout high school and elementary school, then literally like 2 days after I moved out, this new family moves in, and I guess they threw like a huge party with like kind of all of my high school friends and my age group of people, because I guess there was an older brother that like somehow knew them or whatever, and people are like Snapchatting me and sending me messages like in my bathroom. They're like, "Hey, Jaclyn," like whatever, and it was just so weird.
Oh, I don't like
my
that.
house crowded with like all these people just like 2 days after. I was like, "This feels wrong." This
Yeah, I
feels
don't
so
like
wrong.
that.
Yeah, it was
That's
weird.
weird.
Really
that is weird.
But
I don't know. I mean, I still haven't like fully moved out of my parents' house, which is like really
I
funny.
feel like you still have your closet at your parents' house.
My parents hate it. Like literally last week, my mom said, she's like, okay, so you've actually been away from home for 6 years. That seems crazy, but yes, it has been 6 years.
Yeah.
And you still have a fully functioning wardrobe in your bedroom closet / hall closet, because I took over the hall closet back in high school.
So it's still on the
And I
hall.
never like fully moved out. Like I was like, oh, I'll leave all my nice like gowns up here, and like,
Right.
because when I was going to university, I was packing with the mindset of like, what will I need for university? I
Sure.
wasn't thinking. I mean,
is
first of all, my whole wardrobe was too much to even
Right.
bring. But then secondly, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like, for example, bring my prom dress down to my university
Yes.
living condo.
No, that makes sense.
But now, like 6 years later, it's
now
just
when
like
you fully have your own apartment
yeah,
with a beautiful closet.
but there's just like miscellaneous things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want that crap in my house, so I'm just leaving it at their house. And then my mom's like, I'm literally going in and like it's all going
that's
Goodwill.
what my mom is like. So I knew I had to take everything out. She goes, I will throw everything out, take all your baby photos, take all your like school stuff, take all your stuff. Otherwise, it's going in the garbage. So, and she is someone that like fully will do that. So I go, okay. So she's helped me streamline, because it's made me really decide, okay, do I need to keep this? Yes, I have like a memory box with all my stuff like growing up, but
Yeah.
it's only about this big. Like it's not.
Well,
a
that's
lot
the
of
thing.
stuff.
Like, I have all these like old agendas, my yearbooks, like that shit. I'm sorry, is not at my house. Like that can stay at my parents' house in the crawl
Forever.
space. Yeah, like I just feel that way, and I would do that for my kids. Like I get it. Like you don't want to like
Yeah.
transport that. Like what go from this massive house to bringing it to like 1,000 square foot condo. Like how is that fair? I don't have room.
Is the question? I guess the question is, will you ever even go back and look at it? It's like one of those things. Like I like the idea to have it, but am I ever going to use it? I don't know.
I've enjoyed going back and like looking at.
Do you go back through?
I have, yeah. Like old photos, old yearbooks, old like
yearbooks.
diaries.
I do like a yearbook. I do keep all my yearbooks because, did you have the thing
The
where people would
notes,
write
yeah.
in it every time?
Yeah.
Remember-
I didn't do that in high school. I never made people write in mine in high school because I
No.
wasn't really around a lot, but I did it in in middle school.
Well, ours was weird because I don't know how your yearbooks worked, but in elementary school, you would get them, say, like the last week of school, like of the school year. So you were still in class. So like on
in
recess,
high
you would
school,
bring
you
it
get
out.
them like right at the end. You can't even
Oh
like
no,
do
ours
anything.
we would get the following, like the start of the next year. So you were
That's
already
even
over
worse.
it.
That's
And then by the
way
time you're in
worse.
grade 12 or grade 11, graduating, that you don't see anyone by the time you get your yearbook. So no
I
one
don't
signs
remember
in
the
it.
whole process. I just remember thinking no one signed mine because I did not ask. / like there wasn't really the opportunity.
That's so funny.
I also thought beyond my friend group at the time. Now I think I would have liked to have it of my friend group, but at the
Sure.
time I was like, I don't need to ask my friend group to do it because I'm with them every day. Like,
That's so true.
so it's like I didn't think that those
Spoiler,
would
you've never
be.
seen them again since.
Spoiler, haven't seen anyone from high school in 6 years.
I don't know if it was like the same thing in your school, and especially elementary school. Getting into the yearbook was like the coolest thing. And come grades 7 and 8, sorry, I'm like so congested. So I've been popping my Tylenol day and night. I'm
yeah.
trying to get better before we go to New York tomorrow.
No, I wasn't feeling it this morning. I'm getting
Did
it
I give
again.
it to you?
Getting
The
it
same-
back.
Yeah.
It's like literally
you gave
mine.
it to me, and I'm giving it back to
Ugh.
you. And it was such a huge deal to make it in the yearbook. So by the time grade 7 and 8 hit, that's when you could apply to be on the yearbook committee. So me and Courtney went on the
Applied?
yearbook. Yeah, obviously went on the yearbook committee. And we like plastered our face on the homepage. Every single page,
Stop.
it's like us and our friends.
I absolutely would never want to be on the yearbook committee.
Oh,
That
no.
sounds horrendous.
No, we loved it. It was also like before like digital, like really collage things or Photoshop was like a thing that we were using. Like, we were cutting
Really?
and pasting the photos,
Oh.
scanning them to the yearbook. Like it was like the old.
Oh, interesting.
Like things aren't cut straight. Like it's hilarious. It was like a DIY scrapbook basically.
I guess we were at an art school, so ours were always very like digital because it was like.
Oh, we were years behind. It was the one.
Yeah,
public
that's
school in my
shocking.
town.
Yeah, no, that's
No,
so
we
funny
didn't have budget. at
yeah,
River
definitely
Heights.
mine were like normal and digital and like chill and like lined up and photoshopped and like yeah.
Oh damn! I don't
Yeah.
even think we knew what Photoshop was. Maybe in high school there was like a proper.
Yeah, in high school, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking elementary. I said elementary, grade 7.
I think even my middle school ones were like perfect. We had hardcover. They were like luxe.
okay, public school, small town, no.
I mean, I was still at public school, but yeah.
Let me clarify, the only school in my town.
Yeah, mine was one of 1,000 schools.
A little different.
True.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, yearbooks are funny.
So we are, I guess, approaching also the end of a decade. It's a little
True.
I don't know how I feel about it. Sometimes I get weird about like wrap-ups.
How old am I? 23. So 10 years ago, I had not even done a television show yet. I had not even
oh my God.
done anything with my life. I was 13. I had done a lot of musical theater, and that was pretty much it.
I can't imagine. When I was 11, what was I doing when I was 11?
Yeah, like 13 was... Because I booked Life with Boys when I was 14, so not even 10 years ago.
See, actually, I think back 10 years ago, I think I was doing better than I am now. I think 11, I would have been in grade. That's like grade 6, right? That's when I did Dino Dan, like was having the most fun shooting that. That's when I peaked, actually. So that's kind of sad. Things have gotten worse.
Wow. No, mine definitely were on the up and up, for sure. Yeah.
But I think we should do like a little reflection of the past year. Not only is it obviously ending of a decade, but also ending of the year. I love like reflection and all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like I always go through my year through my Instagram because I'm like, oh, what are
I know,
like
me too.
things?
What have I done?
But some big standout things this year that like definitely were, I guess, life-changing and very like pivotal. Going to South Korea was such an amazing trip.
Yes.
We went with the Moray Pacific, and that was just, I had always wanted to go to Southeast Asia. I'd never been before. The flight was my first time flying first class. Like that was just a great trip. So that was definitely on the list. Moving out, getting my place was definitely one on the list. And one more big one from this year. Starting the podcast.
Yeah, starting the podcast was a big one. Wait, what is 1 year? So last January.
Because you think of it by birthdays, but think of it from,
I know. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, like, so much happened. I don't know. Like, I got verified on Instagram, which
was that this year?
Yeah, that was in April of this year.
Hey.
Which is funny because I'd put it on my, like, bucket list of 2019 things in last January when we were away. My aunt always makes us do, like, we write them all down.
Amazing.
That was one of them. Yeah, I mean, like, so many great partnerships. Like, when I do, like, sort of panels or, like, lunch and learns with other agencies that I work with, I went back and had counted, like, different brands and, like, partnerships I had worked on. And back in 2018, I think I did something like 70-plus brand partnerships, which is, like, insane.
Yeah.
And I think this year I've gone above and beyond even that. And even more excitingly, I had left my team this year. That was a big thing because I was working with a team for a long time, for like 3 years, which like some people may not know, but I had a PR team that worked closely with me on partnerships and like kind of helped me navigate that world when I had first graduated from university. And I left them because I felt sufficient enough on my own to do it on my own. And it's been a huge, you know, learning curve, but like the best. Like I've just really enjoyed it.
Well, you like rose to the occasion of what was demanded of you.
Yeah, like I was doing like some background, like kind of analytics, seeing like how it's been with and without my team, and like I've far exceeded my partnerships and my like, you know, expectations for myself being on my own, which I think is like great. It would be awful if I was like, and everything went to shit when so I was really excited about that this year. It was something I always kind of had in the back of my head that I thought I was going to do, and I'm glad that it all worked out and it just was like the right timing, and it's been really nice managing my own stuff. I mean, no one's going to advocate more for you than you. Like if you want something, you better ask for it.
No one cares about it more than you.
So yeah, no one will be as kind or reflect my brand morals better than I will, because it's what I believe in. So yeah, that was something I was really proud of this year. Yeah, the podcast was birthed out of like a random flight. When even was that?
Well, I think I tie that very much so to our LA and New York trip back in February.
Oh, is that in February?
So fondly
Interesting.
Of that.
So that was in February. Wow.
Yeah, so it's really been like
a whole year. And then by like March or April?
We were pre-recording, and then it went live in the summer, like June. Or it was actually the week I went to South Korea that I think it went live.
Yeah, that could make sense. June?
Maybe
June 5th, I thought we had the first podcast live.
That could make sense.
It does make you realize, like, time just, like, flies by you. Like, you don't even realize. But, yeah, no, the podcast has been, like, such a treat. Like, you know, becoming more proficient in, like, the editing side of things, because we obviously came into the podcast knowing truly nothing. So, I mean, it's been nice to kind of feel a little bit pro on the...
Well, even the fact that we're here, like, sometimes I just look at the studio and I look at even the productions that are going on next door.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we went from closet to this in 1 year.
Well, it's just so, like, I mean, really is cool. We get so, I guess...
Desensitized?
That's the word I was looking for. Perfect. Desensitized to it all. But it's like, when I go to the bathroom and then I run into Marilyn Dennis who's shooting her show downstairs, and then we run into the girls that do e-talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, these are our peers in this building right now. And it's sure it's a little different. We're
Totally.
like a very self-made version of that. But it is just cool to be in here. And I forget about
good
that
energy.
sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's nice. It's been nice to see all that kind of transition. I don't know. So many travels, went to so many places.
Yeah.
Coachella, like Revolve Awards, all the fun.
It's so weird. I feel like I actually say this every year, and I mean, I guess I don't really know how to say this without being like, I'm just so happy. But it's funny because each year, I would say the last 4 years, I've been like in a really good place, I would say. Like in headspace, like mental health, all of that. Like I've just been feeling really good. And each year, I feel like I'm accomplishing more things that I want to do. I'm like happier than ever. But each year I say that. And I'm like, when's the peak? When's it going to stop? And I know that's a really like maybe negative way to look at it. Yeah. But this year I look back and I go, wow, I didn't think things could get better from last year, but I'm happier. I've done more things than I could have ever imagined. And like, how is this my life? Like, it's like I guess like a gratefulness like moment. And like, I just don't, it blows my mind. And I think, wow, another year. I don't know how I'm going to top it next year. And then it seems like I am each year.
Well, that's good.
Which is like crazy. I'm just like happy.
That's good. I'm
so happy, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
I also just think like life is waves. Like you're gonna maybe have 5 great years and 1 shit year, and then 4 great years.
I think I'm coming up to that.
No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like being aware that it won't always be great.
Yeah, that this isn't constant.
But I'm also like different than you in the sense that I do believe I have a very like my years are very filled with like karmic retribution, like all in one. Like I always believe, good things happen to me, but also bad things happen to me.
We need to talk about that parking ticket situation that happened last week.
Yeah, well, I always say this, and like all of my bad karma in life comes back to me in parking tickets. Not all of it. I have bad karma in other ways, but that is one of the main ways that I feel the universe gets back at me. And I can't say what it specifically is for, but if I'm do a shitty thing, like I always feel very equal to the universe. I don't feel like it owes me anything because shitty things happen to me and then really good things happen to me. But the good things are usually something I've worked for. So I feel very like at peace with it. I don't think of it like, oh, it's going to get bad or it's going to be still so good, because I'm like, nope, we're even, girl. Like we're just working through it as we go.
I mean, I guess I do experience like what you're saying. Like I do believe in karma and like the little good things. I guess like pulling back and looking at it overall, I'm like, wow, things are just so great. And I think it's just more from like the standpoint of like, out of all the people in the world, or millions of people, billions of people, out of all the bad things in the world, I feel like I'm just getting so lucky. And not in the sense,
but we've always said this. You are lucky. That's inherently like a part of, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to differentiate.
Is it luck? Is it a mindset?
Dude, I've been with you in scenarios where it's not a mindset. It's like, it's just fucking lucky. Like, there's no way to say it. It's like you have a horseshoe up your ass. Your mom will even say it. This is not new news.
I know,
like,
true.
You are a lucky person, and that's great. I'm just saying there's a difference between luckiness and like things working out, or more like my scenario where it's just like, you're even with the universe, like, yeah, okay, good things happen, shitty things happen. It's just kind of like, that's it. But it's not like, I'm not on The Price is Right. Like, let's be, you know what I'm saying?
That was
like
one time.
I mean, but still, so most people in life are not on The Price is Right at any point in their life. So I'm just saying.
True. No, true. Very blessed, very
That's
lucky.
like, hey, have you ever seen that movie? It just came to my head.
What?
With Lindsay Lohan, where she has like the luckiest luck in the world, and then she one day switches her luck with someone, and then it flips it on its head, and she gets this guy has the worst luck in the world, and she has the best luck in the world. And then one day they run into each other, and there's a bit of a snowstorm, almost like Freaky Friday. They knock heads, and then he ends up having the best luck in the world, and then her life takes a deep spiral and goes completely downhill.
No,
have you seen this?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think it's called like, someone comment below, like Lucky Day or like.
I don't want to watch it.
But it just made me think of that because it's so interesting. She was like literally just like
bump heads with you.
No, not me. It would have to be with someone like that's equally on the opposite end of the spectrum. See, I'm even in the world. I'm not lucky or not lucky. I get what I deserve, and that's like it.
Speaking of luck, I hope my luck helps me tonight. Actually,
yeah. Oh, tonight is the night. Harry Styles.
No.
Watch. He'll be there just
I'm
because.
I'm actually really nervous. Okay, so guys, let me give you some backstory.
Are you nervous?
I am now because guess what? So
I am now.
Okay, long story short, everyone knows my love for Harry Styles. I'm the biggest fangirl. Like Harry Styles is always my one like idol. I'm like, I remember the day I signed with Much and MTV Canada here. I told them, I go, if there's ever an opportunity to interview Harry Styles or do anything involved with anything, like, I will gladly be in the background, be help
I
be a
will be
staff
in the
member. No,
background.
I will be like a staff member. I'll help shoot. Like I'll do anything. I
dead.
just like am obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I would love to meet him in person one day. Like that's the goal. Or interview him or somehow do anything. And I said, if there's ever an opportunity and you don't ask me to be involved, I will leave and I will be so offended and I am done. Like that's what I always tell everyone. I know that's crazy, but like that's it. So, long story short, Harry Styles has a new album coming out December 13th, 2 days before my birthday. I like to think it's like a little birthday gift for myself. He's been doing advanced listening parties around the world. So Sony Music, which is his label, they've been hosting different parties. So like one in LA, one in Berlin, one in Australia, all these different places, right? And Sony Music Canada announced that they were doing one in Toronto. And
Where are they doing it?
I can't say.
This comes out 2 weeks from now. Why would that be confidential 2 weeks from now?
No, but listen to this. This is why I'm stressed about it.
Okay,
so anyways, long story short, I see them post this on the Instagram, and I have a relationship with the label. I've done stuff with them before. I've interviewed some of their artists, which has been so lovely. And so I see this, and I was gonna like maybe email one of them and be like, hey, I see there's a listening party. I know it's a contest. Any way that I can come and listen to the album a week before it comes out? Like I would love to. I'm such a huge fan, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not thinking I could even get involved with it. Then the next day, my manager here calls me and goes, hey, I don't know if you saw this thing on Instagram. I've actually already put in like the ask to see if you could host it. And she goes, also,
brilliant.
yeah. So I was like, oh my God, amazing. Like I didn't even want to ask that. Like that was too much to ask. I didn't even feel like I just wanted to be there to listen to it. And they go, and guess what? Like they want to have you host it and moderate the experience. So I was like, oh my God, like I get
Even
to
better.
host a Harry Styles listening party. Like that's my dream. My whole life was built up to this moment. And it said even in the post, like, this is just a listening party, like Harry Styles isn't there, it's not a meet and greet, like just a listening party.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool, like no expectations.
Which like, yeah, they probably have to manage people's expectations.
Totally.
Anyways, yeah.
So they contest out all the tickets, and I'm like super chill about it at this point. I go, that's so fun, I can meet a bunch of like-minded people who love this artist, listen to the music, have a fun night.
Right.
Then Harry Styles starts surprising people and popping up at these advanced listening parties. So I think, and I kind of like had heard about something. I thought he just like popped up to the LA show because he was there, and like LA makes sense. Like that's of course who's gonna get it. And so this weekend I'm just doing a bit of research just to make sure I'm up to speed on all like the Harry Styles news, and like when I'm hosting, like I know what I'm talking about, whatever. And as I'm doing more research, I find out he's went to this like Berlin pop-up and like more of these obscure locations, like unannounced as well.
Interesting.
And I'm like, oh God, like, is he gonna come to this Toronto? Like, one, I'm kind of like nervous now. Like,
oh my God, could you imagine just be like standing on stage and then he walks up? I don't think you're gonna be able to keep it together. No, that's what I said.
So I emailed like my manager. I go, hey, like, do you know anything that I don't know? Like, I know maybe they're trying to, like, they were recording reactions and getting surprises, and I'm like, I know I will give you a good reaction, but I need to tell you I am not in the headspace to be surprised right now.
Yeah, especially by him, of all people.
No, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't even want, in some ways, like, yes, it would be lovely to interview him one day. Like, that's a dream, but, like, part of me, like, doesn't even want to. Like, I've almost hyped it up too much. Like, I admire him too much that, like, I can't even let that moment happen.
Yeah, it's like you can't meet your idols. No, that's literally a thing.
Yeah, like,
it
like
ruins
I don't want it. And, like, now I'm not ready for it. So on the weekend, as I'm doing my research, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm in my bed on my phone, like, catching up. And all these other fans now think he's coming to Toronto because he's, like, I think he's hosting something the next day, but, like, he's got time to make it. Or anyways, people are, like, speculating, right? And everyone assumes he'll come to Toronto, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm reading all this stuff. I'm like, oh, God, like, is he coming to this? Like, I'm not ready.
Would they have to flag you, though, at some point? Because you are hosting
But that's what I'm saying. But then they had emailed me. So the label emails me and goes, hey, this is the location. It's on the DL. Like, this is confidential. So then when they send that, I'm like, what do you mean it's like, I get maybe not advertising, hey, I'm hosting this event at this location, but they were like,
well, it would also still have to be confidential even if it's a contest for the viewing party. Because, like, I can't just, like, show up.
Yeah, but it'd be like a ticket, like, it's like you wouldn't be able to get in if you
I know, but I'm just saying they don't want the, like, extra press. Like, that doesn't freak me out. The fact that it's a confidential location, that's very common for, like, even things that are not even at his scale, I've had to keep
I'm
locations
just like, why would they be so, like, particular about me not saying anything or, like, and not, like, I don't know. They were just being, like, very confidential. And
Interesting.
I'm trying to, like, not get in my head about it because I'm not ready. I'm like, I don't even have a cute outfit for tonight. Like, so now I'm just nervous. I'm just like, I don't think it's going to happen. I truly, like.
Are you even, like, nervous? Because, like, my thing is, like, you obviously know what it's like to be a fan of his. Do you feel like.
I don't think he'd let me down.
No, not that.
Oh. He wouldn't let me down.
When you're hosting it tonight in front of the audience of fans, are you going to have that common ground of, like, guys, I'm the original fangirl, or do you have to keep it profesh, like, hi, I'm Jaclyn Forbes, I'll be hosting tonight?
No. I mean, no, honestly, they haven't even sent me my script yet, so I don't even know what I'm saying, but, like, I honestly feel that I feel like know some of the people there, like, or people, like, will have a common connection.
Oh my God, are you going to get, like, hate from the times when you were the infamous fangirl? They're like, now she's hosting the event. She's come a long way. How do I host the event?
No, I think it's more just like serendipitous and like kind of like
for
funny.
you. I'm just saying for the other fans that are
people-
like, this is the original Jaclyn. This is where broken hearts go, and she's back.
Yeah, so funny. Like years ago, I was like a huge fangirl. My friend had won this contest. We got flown down to Florida to like listen to their album. So at the time when we were like 15, 16, like not like everyone hated us, but like there were some moments we got some extra attention because we were these contest winners, and people were like, "Oh my God, these girls just have like rich dads who like bought them this." It's like, no, my friend fully just randomly won a contest.
But then also like you guys did get so much extra
We
random
did.
attention from the boys too. It wasn't even just like the label.
Again,
it was
somehow
like,
just got lucky.
yeah,
Or seized the moment.
Right.
Again,
Lucky.
who knows? But
luck wins again.
so no, it is funny now. Like I feel like all those years that I put in, all the like 20 million concerts I went to and bought these expensive tickets for, and like whatever, and like did all this. Like it's so funny now that I get to, as part of my job, do this. But
They're
no,
paying
I'm
you
like,
back for all the concert ticket, all the concert money.
Yeah, right. But no, I'm like 97% confident that nothing's gonna happen and like it's just gonna be normal. And like it's not that I necessarily have my hopes up, but I am just like a little like nervous. I'm like they could just throw me a curveball and like if he is to come out, I honestly think I would have a breakdown. So I don't want that to happen.
Right.
I did put on a spray tan last night just in case I run into
Yeah.
him, but
You
I don't
never
think it's
know.
gonna happen. But I am a little on edge now.
Would you cry? Like imagine he just like walked out on stage.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my God.
Oh no,
I kind of hope for
No,
your
I would,
sake
like,
it doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not at a good headspace. I mean, I was just saying I was happy and in a good headspace, but I'm like not
You're like, but I'm not.
emotionally ready for that. No, I would probably drop to the floor and like maybe stay in the fetal position, screeching. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what I would do, so that's why I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
If they were to say, hey, just so you know, Harry's gonna surprise the fans during this song. When you're playing this third song, he's gonna come out and like listen to it all with you.
That would make you even more nervous.
No.
though.
I would prefer to know.
Oh, you'd prefer to know.
If it was a surprise, that's where, because at least I can mentally prepare for that. But if it's a surprise,
But even mentally preparing for it, then you're like on stage and you're like, oh my God, he's gonna come. He's gonna.
No, I don't know. That would make me feel more at peace.
Oh, okay,
The
I wouldn't.
surprise element is where I'm a little nervous. But
Like
the
if
thing
I
is-
was on stage talking and I knew that Taylor Swift in like one song was gonna come out and like give me a hug, like that would freak me out more.
Oh no.
I'd be like, she's standing backstage watching me do exactly
Oh no,
this.
that would be fine. I would much prefer that. The thing is, I'm obviously going there a few hours before like the actual like the guests start arriving.
Right.
So I think as soon as I go there, I'll know the vibe. If there's like heightened security, or if I'm gonna like obviously I'm gonna ask them straight up when I get there. I'm like, hey guys, tell me if anything's happening. Like I see that this has been happening in other locations. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'll know right away, which is nice. So I'll have
That's
a bit of a
good.
buffer.
Yeah.
But definitely a little nervous.
Interesting.
Painted my toes just to, like I'm trying to like
You're just doing the extra
need to
mile.
pluck my unibrow really well.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So
You never know. With
this
your
could
luck,
be the worst day of my life.
you never
I
know.
don't know.
Damn.
Yeah.
What time is it at?
I have to go there for like 3:30.
Oh,
or
that's
4.
really early.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't even know what to say about that. Either way, it's gonna be super fun just to like host it and like it's just such a full circle moment.
Oh my
and I'm
God,
excited to
take
do
an
that.
Advil. You're like, oh
I
my
know,
God,
I-
that's full.
I need a Kleenex really bad. I don't have a Kleenex near. I swear to God, I've never been more sick than this year in my life. Which is, I feel like I was on a health high for like the past 5 years. I didn't even get sick once.
Yeah.
And then I got super sick after South Korea. I got super sick the week of the half marathon, and I think you've given me this disease again.
The cold? The cold I definitely had last week. That was rough.
The thing is, I don't actually feel like I need to like stay in bed. It's just I'm so
No,
congested
that's
and
exactly what
snotty.
mine was. It was.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was
like
like
a head
dying, but
congestion.
it was completely a head cold, like like a
Yeah.
sinus infection.
And I just
That's
feel
what it was.
gross. Like I'm oh God. I mean, hairy and I'm snotty. Like that would be the worst.
I know.
Ugh.
Wow.
Who's your one person? Taylor? Is that your?
I wouldn't even know. There's honestly
You had-
not one person. There's
Yeah.
not. Taylor, I mean, she's someone
Well,
I
you
definitely
weren't, like, a
enjoy.
heavy, like, you never had like the crazy fangirl like hysteria.
No, I'm not
You were just, like,
hysterical ever about anyone. I can like really be chill in any scenario.
I love the art of like the hysteria fangirl. Like, I do. I love it.
Really, I fucking hate it. Like I don't know how else
You want
to
to know what
explain
it is? And it's funny now in hindsight because I feel like I've somewhat grown out of that phase. Oh crap! I just broke my nail.
Yeah, somewhat.
I've somewhat-
screeches at every concert.
Oh, that's just me having fun though. But if you saw me like at a Harry style like that, I couldn't help it. Oh damn, that's so annoying. So I just like literally destroyed this nail. I love it though when you're watching like a documentary of like whether it's like the Justin Bieber documentary or like whatever.
What is happening on this hand? Oh, is that a? Oh, it's a Band-Aid.
Oh, I could talk about my incident after.
Okay.
I had an incident the other day.
I had an incident.
But I love it. Like, it's so pure. Like, when people just have, like, that pure happiness. And I kind of hate when people are so negative towards it. And they're like, oh, these young girls crying about these boys. It's like, why? Like, I don't yell at you for, like, screaming over football. Like, everyone has their thing that makes them so happy. And it's so beautiful to, like, see someone and, like, I don't know. Like, especially right now with K-pop, you see people, like, going crazy for it. I don't get it. I'm not a part of it.
Like, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I just think on a certain level, like, it's the obsession that I don't enjoy. And honestly, from the creator's perspective, whether that's Harry Styles, whether that's Taylor Swift, I have this inherent sense of, like, I feel so bad for them. Like,
but think, they don't exist if those people aren't there.
I know, but I just can't explain it. I'm like, they're
so
humans.
A part of it. As an artist, like, that's part of it.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I see the flip side of it, and maybe I care more about, like, the mental health of those people. Like, it's seen people that I've enjoyed, like, rip them apart and, like, ruin careers because, like, people are so intense and they, like, dehumanize them. Like, the Justin Bieber effect. This is, like, the infamous thing. It's like, you get famous way too fast, you get all this attention, people's lives, like, it's hard to be a human when that is the expectation.
I think maybe
You're
that's more
idolized.
fame in the media, not necessarily like the fangirl. I think if you think of the true fangirl, that's someone who is respectful, who, like, sure is a part of the hysteria, but I think it's more like the negative paparazzi, like, that part of the fame I think can be more dark.
I guess, but even, like, our example at, like, the Lainey concert, like, the girls that, like, wait in line and then they're, like, mean if they're not in first. It's like, there's this inherent sense of, like, insanity, and I'm like, I just can't
but
with
it's out
that.
of, like, love. Like, that's why I love it. It's like, they're so, like, this is like their one time. They might have had like the worst year of their life. The only thing that got them through was that music. They're standing in that line because they care so much about this band that's like saved them.
Oh, I just think there's such a fine line.
Oh,
I just think it's like taken, like it's taken too far. That's what I would say. It's like dehumanizing to the actual artist, and then it's such a high standard for them to live up to. All of these people.
I'm not saying it's not hard. I think it would be a lot if you're doing meet and greets every night and people are saying, "You saved my life." I almost.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
it's
a lot to take
so
in.
much. It's so much.
Totally.
Like even the Jonas Brothers, their documentary when they were talking about how at the beginnings of their career they weren't saying no to any meet and greets. They were trying to meet every fan they possibly could. That can ruin you. Like, it literally broke up their band. They were so burnt out. They didn't understand.
But I would argue it's not because of the fangirl. It's not because of the diehard fan. That's a choice that their team needs to be making. Hey, they're having a rough time doing this. It's like Ariana Grande. She goes, I can't emotionally do meet and greets every night. It's so much to, like, get poured on. And, like, it's so beautiful and positive. But she goes, I can't do it. So she made a choice to cancel the rest of her meet and greets. Yeah. Which I respect that. Like, I think.
But that's exactly what I'm arguing. I'm saying that should be the line. It shouldn't be the expectation that, like, these people have to, like, give their all and, like, give their everything. I'm not saying that at all.
I think we're arguing about different things. I'm saying I think the fangirl is, like, so beautiful. I love it. I love that. I think, sure, the dark side of the world where people feel like they can't put up boundaries and their team isn't supporting them, like, yes, I agree that you should be within your limits and what you can do. I'm not saying that someone as an artist needs to outpour and be doing all of that. I'm saying the fangirl is so, like, integral to the success of these people. It is.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I just, like, we can agree to disagree. I just think it's insanity.
Oh, it's definitely trust. I go back to, like, when I was 13. Like, I was crazy. But, like, I love it. There's something, I think back to those years so fondly.
And also, like, I have never been like that. So I think on, like, a personal level, I just don't relate because that's not who I am as a person. So I identify that energy as, like, pure hysteria that's, like, uncalled for. Like, I agree with the level of, like, excitement and fun and, like, get on board and, like, be a fan. It's just taken so far. And, like, I guess my experience is where I'm talking about seeing, like, the Lainey fangirls of the world where it's, like, this almost becomes, like, negative because it's so intense and so, like, emotional.
Okay, that one girl was just being a bitch. Like,
but I'm saying that happens more than we can imagine. Like,
no,
that
but
happens all the time.
I think, though, the association is that person was just being a bitch to be a bitch. It's not because they're a fangirl,
But what I'm saying is that happens a lot is that there's
people,
the expectation. I don't know. We can agree to disagree on this.
I think that's a different thing, but I love it. You want to know what it is? I think it's also like, for a lot of people, the fangirl, the whole thing, it's escapism, and that's like the beauty of it all. It's no different than like someone falling into this book and being obsessed with it. Like it's just, I think it's so beautiful to have art, whether it's a musician, an artist, an actor, whatever, that can take someone out of their day and transport them into this like thing that they love. And I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's great, but the energy attached to it that's like insane is not.
Well, then because it gets associated with, okay, well, that person then is my happiness, the only thing that's making my day good. And then like maybe that's where it gets out of hand.
That's what I'm saying. It's like just, it's too much. That's it. I'm just saying in terms of scale, it's too far on the scale. Like there's a level at which fandom should obviously exist and it's amazing and everything you're saying. Yes, escapism, yes, entertainment, all of these amazing things. But I think there's a way to have that without the like inherent wildness. I don't know. It's just a little cray-cray.
No, there's definitely a few bad apples that can ruin
Yeah.
it, but I love the craziness of it all.
Yeah.
Like when we were watching the Jonas Brothers documentary, don't you just think it's so amazing to see like this like 17-year-old girl with like I love Nick Jonas headband on there like like cry. Like I just love seeing that. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny, and especially in hindsight, I'm like, I was there.
Yeah.
I was that.
Well, that's the thing, I guess, because also I always enjoyed the concerts and I would always go, and it's not, because it's making it sound like I don't appreciate the music, which is definitely not
that's
the case.
not at all.
It's just, you can enjoy the music and be a fan without literally being that girl.
Yeah, I guess I'm like, if they're having fun, they love it, it's not hurting anyone, you go cry, you do whatever you want.
It's true.
Wear your crazy t-shirts and
Yeah.
I love it, man.
It's wild.
Dude. Disney Plus has taken me back to a lot of these like great childhood shows.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I was never like that with the Jonas Brothers. Like I love them. I had the biggest crush on Nick Jonas, but like,
Yeah.
I wasn't like hysterical about them. It was once I hit like 13, 14, One Direction was the only people that brought it out of me.
Oh.
It was funny because did you have a lot of friends that were into like Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber was becoming a thing?
Yeah.
And it seemed, I had one friend that was, but like I was always like, ew,
Oh, well,
Justin
you're a little
Bieber.
younger than me, and those 2 years would make
Yeah.
a difference at that time because I was in like grade 7 or 8 when Justin Bieber
Yeah, I
was
was 6
literally
or 7.
born. Born into the industry.
Yeah.
And I feel like that I was like the prime demographic
Okay.
because he was like only 2
Were
years.
you a fan of him at first? Or
I literally remember the first video that came out, with that one time video with the jacket. And I remember literally sitting in my friend Shireen's house. She goes, hey, I have to show you this guy. And we played the video. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's cute. And we like had a moment about him.
Yeah.
And like, I was fine. She met him like the next week because like Much Music had a thing and they came down to meet him.
Back at this building.
I think, both of my friends had met him at the time.
Oh, that's funny.
Like on his rise to fame.
Yeah.
But he never changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really enjoyed Nick Jonas. I thought like he was one of my like childhood crushes for sure.
I feel like too also what's so different about nowadays, especially when it comes to the fangirl, is like social media is so important for it.
Yeah.
Because it lets you know the person so much better. You can watch all these interviews. Like you get to know someone
And maybe
to the point
that's-
that people think that they know
And
them.
no, and that's maybe what I
takes it to a new
hate.
level.
It's like the creepiness of it all. Or like the stalkerness of it, or the fact that they think they
yeah.
know them, or like it's okay, we can relate to these people. They're in elf
Oh
costumes.
my god. Wait, they
We're
need to come in.
also wearing Santa outfits.
That's
yeah, also
amazing.
shout out to Old Navy. Thank you for this fit because
Yeah, these onesies are hilarious. I've actually never gotten more DMs about
know.
an outfit ever.
I know.
We posted an
Old
Instagram
Navy,
in these, and
guys.
people are like, where are those from? Old Navy. I love Old Navy.
Old Navy. Me too.
Old Navy. Where's your this from? I like this. I've never seen this.
It's from Free People.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
It's so big and poofy.
Yeah. She's talking about my scrunchie, if anyone's wondering.
Oh, yeah, I forget sometimes that there's some non-YouTube watchers.
Yeah, they're just
Actually,
listening.
this is a good way to do some housekeeping and wrap up as we finish our 2019 year of Poddy Talk. If you did enjoy this podcast throughout the year, whether you're just discovering it now, go to the Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave a review. Give it 5 stars if you think it's deserving. Leave a comment if you're watching it on YouTube. Subscribe. It really helps to hear your feedback, and it also just helps in the algorithm if you guys are liking the content and leaving positive reviews. So if you
Love
like
it.
it, you want to see more, you want to see it grow, go give it some love. Do it right now. If you're listening, go on that Apple Podcast app. Do it. Leave the review. It takes 2 seconds.
Brilliant.
Give us some love.
Or hate on us, because as you can tell,
Yeah, or
I
give
hate
us-
fangirls, so give a negative review. Or
yeah.
honest review.
Or yeah, we would love to also to hear constructive criticism as we take this little bit of a break. We're going to kind of revamp, not necessarily revamp, but review everything that we're doing, whether we shoot it close up like this on YouTube or shoot it far away, whether we have more guests. Let us know who you'd want to see on the podcast. If you don't like when we have guests, your feedback really informs how we create the show. So
Please.
keep letting us know, and we'll keep potty talking.
Love it. So should we do a little roses and thorns to close off the decade?
Oh my God. Thorn.
Maybe that's it. Maybe we have to do it on the decade, not the day.
Okay.
Thorn of the decade.
Thorn of the decade. I still have a stuffy nose. I've had nasal
That
problems
can't be
my
the
whole
thorn.
Yes, I've had nasal problems / allergies my whole life, and I'm just always clogged up.
And you're just
and it's
over
a
it.
negative in my life.
And
It's
you're
a big negative.
You're over it.
I'm done with it. Like, I wake up every morning congested, whether I'm sick or not. That's
A thorn.
horrible.
That's a
It's a
thorn.
big thorn in my butt cheek.
Love it.
A rose of the decade.
Rose of the decade.
Wow, since I was 11 or 12 to now, it really has been a great year of friendships. I mean, decade of friendships. Whether it's discovering beautiful new friends in high school, to going to university or college making new friends, to making friends now throughout my work. I've really found myself through meeting new people, and it's brought out different sides of me, and I feel really lucky that I get to share my life with all the people that I have over the past 10 years.
That's great.
Another rose is of the decade. Damn, this is like a lot.
Deep.
You know what? I think my relationship with my mom, it's so funny, since these were such like years of being a teenager to going into adulthood, it's been interesting to see how our relationship has changed to like me being so scared of my mom. Like she was very much so like the authoritative like parent that was like, I was scared of my mom growing up. And from that to turning into like literally my best friend, and I think we're so similar, and she like, her humor is so similar to mine, and just, it's just been so interesting to watch that evolve, and love that. And we're closer than ever, which is like really awesome. And a rosebud, something I'm looking forward to in the next decade is, I'm really excited to continue to see, I guess where my job takes me. I feel really lucky that there's no like definitive finish line or end benchmark.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of things that I've always like put on the long-term bucket list. Some things that maybe could come to life in the next decade, maybe some that still take 3 more decades to accomplish.
Yeah.
But I'm just really excited. I really have big hopes and dreams for my life and my career, and I know one day I'm going to achieve it, who knows when, and I'm just excited to see that all happen.
Yeah.
Or the process of trying to make it happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
Love
what about
that.
you?
Thorn of the decade. Probably. Wow, a thorn of the decade?
I know, it's hard. What's the worst thing of the last 10 years?
The worst thing of the last 10 years, maybe maybe one of the saddest days of the last 10 years, or one day when I was like, this is the end, was the day I found out that Life with Boys was getting taken off the air, like when the show was canceled. That was a really sad day for me.
How many seasons did you guys do?
We did 40 episodes across like 3 years, but technically it was 2 seasons.
Wait, how did you find out?
I was actually in New York, and we were like put on hold, and my contract was still like in the works, and we weren't sure if it was going to get greenlit or not. And then I got a call, and I was just in the bathroom of this like rehearsal day dancing when I was living in New York alone at the time, because I was at NYU studying, and I just was in a bathroom crying.
Oh my God.
Which is really like iconic now, because I also didn't get into NYU, so honestly just like fuck that entire experience. No, I'm kidding. But that was like a thorny time for sure. And that would have been like,
see a chapter closing, like,
and it was many chapters, because I was in grade 12. It was like I was off to university, didn't get into NYU, show canceled, like very much a thorn of the decade.
Damn.
Yeah. Thorny times for sure. And that was 5 years, 6, 7 years. I don't know how long ago, but many moons ago. Okay, thorn. Rose of the decade. Probably my time spent in university. Like such a rose. Had just a phenomenal 4 years.
Yeah.
Met the greatest people. Met Adam. Met all my like best friends. Like just great experience. Like I thrived at university. I did a really good job there. I felt good about the whole thing. Learned so much. It was just great. I honestly, like, such a rose. We always say, like, in our friend group, like, let's go back. Like, it was just, like, really, really nice. So sad to think that whole chapter is closed, but it was definitely a rose. Another rose of the decade. Geez. I mean, probably just, like, the insane experiences I've been able to have in our line of work. Like, I don't think I would have dreamed in, grade 7 or 8 when all of this was beginning, or the beginnings of my like career, I would say, as an actor. I didn't think that any of it would lead to what it has led to.
Yeah.
Like the endless trips and the experiences, and like the way brands treat us like we don't deserve it. Like, not that we don't deserve it, but they're just so generous, and like we get to have really insane experiences that a lot of other people don't get to have. So I'm very grateful for grateful for all those experiences. And yeah, those have definitely been a rose. And then a rose bud. The first million, man, it's the hardest. Once you make the first, you just move on up. So that's it for the next decade.
$1 million, baby.
You know, that's the quote. That's what they say. The first million's the hardest. And it is, because you literally start from the bottom and you're like, damn.
I think about it in terms of like subscribers. People would always say that, like, oh, the first 1 million subscribers is the hardest. And I'm like,
Same with the dollars.
Same with the dollar bills.
I mean, I'm just kidding. It's not obviously about the money. But yeah, like similar to you, like very curious to see where the next 10 years go. Who knows? I mean, fuck. I can't keep up.
And just like that,
We're just going to fly away.
we're done 2019.
2019, that's a wrap,
That's
baby.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. Would love to hear 2019 goals, resolutions, your roses and thorns of life over the past 10 years. It's been a journey. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being a part of it. This journey is literally
Thanks
nothing
for being
without
a part
you.
of it this
Thanks
year.
for being the Poddy Talk fangirls. I know you out there, fangirls and fanboys and fan non-identifying, non-conforming gender fans, all of the above. We love you all. Thank you. This year's truly been incredible. And a lot of it has to do with Poddy Talk.
It's all because of the
I would
pod.
say. No, thanks, guys. I really appreciate your existence.
Me too.
It's been really fun.
Love y'all.
See you in 2020.
Bye.
Bye.